Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome into ZSR2. Today we have the final Skyward Sword Randomizer group stage match for the Season 4 tournament before we get into brackets. This is the Group A race between YourAverageLink and Adri to decide first and second. Tracking today are Lotta Chiamaka and Vibrant Viola, and on commentary with me for, I want to say this is first commentary, is Ryukin.
Yes, this is my first time on commentary, and I'm pretty excited.
This is going to be a really hype race.
Yeah, they are very good runners, and I love this game a lot, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good race. Adri is newer to playing Skyward Sword in the randomizer, but has played a lot and improved a lot. I think we've talked about 2 years ago, we had the Remlitz tournament. There was a pretty sizable gap between kind of the top three in that tournament, which included Yal, and then the next two, which were Adri and Oni. That gap has shrunk a lot. Oni beat Jaznix in their tournament race, and I think Adri is definitely better practiced, and so I think this is going to be a really good race. And this will decide first and second in the group. So first place will play 64-bit Link in the bracket. Second place will play Gymnast 86 in the bracket. So big difference. But with that, we're about to get underway. Any predictions on the dungeons?
Let's be spicy. LMF, SSH, and FS. Call it now.
So I already know what we got, but it's the exact opposite of that.
Oh, we got the quickest ones. Okay.
Yeah. Our Barrens are Flooded Faron Woods, Linear Caves, and Sealed Grounds. It is Skyview, Earth Temple, and Ancient Cistern, and a Clawshot start, which is... Clawshots are the single most useful item in the game, so very nice item to start with.
It's going to open up quite a bit in Linear for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see them kind of loop around Linear Desert, probably peek into the nodes, and then go into the mines. Although maybe they'll douse to see what's here. Not a lot of pings, maybe none.
Did anything ping? I don't think anything
There are no chests pinging.
Wow.
But I think you're going to grab the 2 cubes here. I think you're going to probably just jump into the nodes as well. Because you can at least get information. Do I ever have to come back here again? And getting some of the statues is helpful. You might have to come back for the Silent Realm. You might have to come back for the Caged Robot, back at Fire Node. Yeah.
Do you think we see any of these runners going to get those 2 hints in caves real quick, or you think they're just going to go to Sky?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Huh, did this just have something? Or is Adri just trying to pick up potentially money?
Maybe money for Beetle Shop, because
which
is at least 300.
Yeah, money definitely at the beginning of the seed is tight. They could need up to 300 right now. And Fire Node, it's just the back. And Yal is not even going to dip Lightning Node. Does kind of make sense.
Yeah, it's a little out of the way.
It's a little out of the way. The only thing that you'd really be doing is information and a statue. But yeah, I think you have to pick up the 2 cave synths here.
Yeah,
especially because there's some stuff you can do in mines. You can peek some things in Gorge. Like, you want to grab some statues as well.
Yeah. Audrey's going to Sky.
I don't hate this. Like, there's really only one check you can get. That is Bat 50 dead. Like, I like getting hints and information early, but that's not everyone.
Yeah. Let's see, for the second one, Fairwoods to Scaldera.
Yeah, I mean, that can be a lot of things. We obviously don't have access to Farron. there are a few items you need to beat Scaldera. Bomb Bag, you're probably gonna need mitts, Ruby Tablet, obviously.
Yeah. Could also be a really mean path to mitts, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
His Gorge Dig Spot has a possibly required beetle.
With that hint, does that potentially mean that the Sansi checks may or may not be required?
It really doesn't say much. All it's saying is that your first mitts are probably not locked behind your beetles, whatever your latest beetle is that's required. All right,
That's
that
true.
looks like this. That might be the first chest that you can get. So I think Yal is gonna go grab this cube and go into mine. If this is something useful, it'll be nice. I don't think Adri is that far off from going here, though. I think Adri skipped the Bamboo Island hint.
Yeah, I don't think I saw it.
And Lumpy, I assume Lumpy Pumpkin had nothing. Yeah, the other question I have is, there's a decent chance that your first statue here in Lineru is on the other side of Sansi, and potentially Yao will just fly back down from the sky to check it. I don't know. Claw shots don't necessarily open a ton in Sansi. It's not amazing, but it may be something that's worth having info on.
Yeah, that's true. I think only with Claw Shot you get like 3 chests in Pirate Stronghold and 1 Goddess Cube, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
At
it's
least
not a ton you can do right now. It's just Lineru is the one spawn where really coming back down to see what your first statue is from the tablet can at least give you something. Well, there's a nice gold rupee.
Oh, that's really nice for Adri.
Yeah. I mean, Yal's going to get that too. I want to check if either of the spiral charge rocks pinged.
I think one of them did.
Yeah. I think the one thing that's kind of interesting with Clawshot's start in these dungeons is we're probably not going to see like a huge amount of bit or other tricks like that. I think another gold rupee.
Yep. Everyone in Skyloft is just full of riches and rupees in their pockets.
Yeah. Oh, Adri didn't even go here. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Central Skyloft to Kaloptos.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not going to mean much for Adri. He's going to clear all the Central Skyloft checks.
Yeah.
And nothing on the chandelier. So we're not going to cause the funniest cutscene. I wonder if Audrey's going to think about saving so he can potentially save Scum Beetle's shop. This is definitely something you at least think about. With 300 rupees, you could potentially need to spend 200 just to peek everything. I don't know. It's something I always think about when I come here with only 300. But I don't think it's really in the meta for people this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially with that beetle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, save scumming could have been useful here because potentially Adri gets the 100 items and sees what's on them. But that beetle unlocks a couple more things potentially in Sansi. So with the spawn, kind of makes sense that you want that. Yeah, I mean, combining the save scum with a Bitmagic file makes sense, although this is not a seed, really, where a Bitmagic file is going to be that useful. Like, you're not necessarily going to set one up this seed. But I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just turn in the beetle item at night just to get a discount on the 300. Even though I won't be able to peek all the 100 ruby checks, I can at least peek the second one.
There's
See if
a
it's
baby
necessary.
rattle for Adri.
Okay.
That is something he could turn in now. I think he might do it in reverse waterfall cave dive. Oh, he has to remember you can't do that at night. The vertical fall plane from skydiving is different between day and night. I don't know why, but it's a weird quirk of things.
Oh, and we got a classic low battery icon on Audrey's side. Should be fine, because low battery icon could last like the next 2 or 8 hours, depending.
Yeah, it's just you will get stuff when you go to Phi. So that is the one thing you have to be aware of is minor time loss if you're on low batteries. And yeah, Audrey is not going to be able to do the waterfall cave dive here. Was he just grabbing that because he was... Is he going to just do waterfall cave at night and then warp to start? That must be it.
Are any of the runners going to go for 10 crystals right at the start before leaving Skyloft?
I doubt it. I mean, there's a chance Yal is. He is getting a lot here. Like, Yal has seen more on the surface, so maybe thinking he's running out of checks. I think Audrey is just getting stuff that's on the way. Which is the sister and lily pad.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I think Yal is going for the loose crystals here. Well, there is a bottle. That's another central Skyloft check that's opened up. And
yeah. I didn't know that you could get the pearl gifts at night. That's pretty neat.
All right, well, there's our central Skyloft to Koloktos path. That's an easy one. And digging mitts. So my guess is Farronwood's to Skuldera is probably just start Ruby Tablet. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can do that at night, and you can also do it in back in time state. Yeah, and Adri, because he's going through Waterfall Cave at night, is just grabbing these crystals. He's gonna warp to start. Yal did not save scum.
Let's see.
I don't think he saved scummed. Yeah, and I think for Audrey going to Farron makes sense here. We're at 25 crystals in logic right now. No, wait, we're at... Yeah. Alright, so that beetle is the one useful item. Yal is going to hope he doesn't need it soon, but that... If he does not find another beetle, that there's a chance that that's not great for him.
Yeah. Did Yal get both 300 ruby drops that were here?
Yeah, he did. Because the one was on Fledge in the Academy, which is just not skippable. I think Adri is going to just grab this hint and Yeah, we know Flooded Farron
Yeah.
is dead, so Water Dragon's Roared has to be dead. I mean, could have been a song not required, which I guess would have been. But yeah, I think Adri now just full clearing Skyview with the items he has makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
With the mitts, he can full clear it. Technically not in logic, but where we're going, we don't need logic. Unfortunately, though, he's going to have to go through the one-eye room. Also,
Oh, yeah.
getting this crystal with the items he has is actually a little trickier than... because... getting the crystal there with the Baba spawned in is actually quite hard.
Yeah.
I wonder if Gal is thinking about just dipping into Petro here.
Yeah, I think Betrayal will probably be the last thing he does before going into Farron.
He'll do Waterfall Cave after, I think, but...
Yes. And claw shots in Skyview are pretty nice because you can skip hitting one of the switches and just get right into the crawl space.
Yeah. We'll see if Petro has anything. Alright, looked like we were not technically scale locked out of completing Skyview. It's possible we just don't see a Gearheim 1 path hint. Right, because we didn't have a key. So really the only path hint here... I mean, maybe... Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get like a double path somewhere.
I think we probably are at this point. Because both the other dungeons can have multiple paths. Yeah. Yeah, and this is where the beetle is going to be nice. Was that... Oh, yeah, Yal is thinking about selling stuff.
Yeah, you can try to get 300.
He wants that beetle, which makes a lot of sense. Again, this is kind of why, like, save scumming is potentially faster than this. Because what Yal probably would have done instead of doing this is saved, got in the... checked the 2 100 items, and then just reset and picked up the beetle.
Yeah. And Adri does have to fight Stalfos here because the item that changes the state of Skyview, I believe, is Water Dragon Scale.
Yeah.
So you're not able to pick
I mean,
it from
Yal
the
will
outside.
also have to do this.
Yes.
Because he will come in here with it. Let's see, is that one of our 2 other keys? What was that? What was that in there? I totally missed what was in that chest. Sorry, I got a text message.
It was the chest from the
crystal.
Stalfos. That was just a crystal, yeah.
All right. That is Betro 30 in logic. Not that we're gonna see it, but all 10 loose crystals are in logic. We have 4 crystal packs now. I assume that 5 and 10 were dead.
Yes, there weren't anything on there.
All right. I do try and pay attention, I promise. Sometimes you get a message, and sometimes you're just looking at one player and totally miss the other.
Yeah.
There's our first
song?
part. Ballad of the Goddess.
Thunderhead Access. Okay.
Yeah, that will save them, because I think it's possible the runners would have thought about early Thunderhead. Since it's not too hard when you have to open up the dungeon. And yeah, Adri getting the spores here. This is pretty smart. I think the 3 Eyes chest did not ping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Yal is going to just finish off the Orion Pero quest here because he wants to go back. And I don't... Yal has the path hint that I don't think Adri had, and so like going for this makes sense. Because I don't think Adri has even been to Lumpy Pumpkin. Yeah, still.
Yeah, that's right. They might come back to it when they check the sky for the goddess cubes that they hit.
Yeah, I mean, I think with... Right, like, especially with claw shots, you're going to get most of the cubes here in Farron. And yeah, so Skyview does not have a whole lot unless the end of the dungeon has something. Oh, well, there's our first Triforce. Well, we will get a hint for that potentially at some point. Yeah, so pretty empty Skyloft, but also or Skyview, but didn't have to do 3 Eyes, didn't have to do either of the 2 chests in the back. So very fast Skyview Temple. I wonder if we're gonna see Yal maybe do the bit warp. I don't know if he will, but if he checks the dig spot, he might just decide it'll be faster to do it and not get the key. Yeah, and with these items, I mean, you can clear a lot of Farron, so I'm kind of expecting we're going to see the Ruby Tablet here in Farron Woods.
Alright. Very clean Girahim 1. Especially clean since they had only 1 sword.
Yeah, definitely slower with Goddess Sword. I mean, it's slower. It is the same that you have when you do this fight in the vanilla game. But in Rando, we're just used to having higher level swords for this fight.
Yeah. Usually Master Sword just deletes G1 here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Master Sword does 4 times as much damage, so... Yeah, Yal got the crystal there. He didn't get close enough to aggro the Baba. I think we'll see Yal get through the dungeon marginally faster in some ways. Not, like, by a huge degree. Um, and yeah, I mean, looking like the dungeon could be mostly barren. Yeah, so the only useful item here was a pack of gratitude crystals. Which tells you there's probably something on Metro 30 or 40. Just because
there
the
was also
dungeon was
the
probably small.
there's also the Battle of the Goddess for Thunderhead.
Oh,
access
right,
too.
yes. You're right,
Yeah,
I forgot about
so that might be the only thing that's worthwhile.
Yeah. I mean, you're not really going to want to go to Thunderhead soon, but...
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a very clean
Yao
spider roll.
and both Yao and Adri did the spider roll trick, which is you can roll past the spider. They both actually had a clean one. I did not comment on it, but it's not. It's a little precise. Just you have to come out at the right angle.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was just like a timing thing on the roll, because if you roll too early, then you get bopped.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a timing or an angle or both.
Oh, that was bomb. That was upper item bumble that pinged.
Yeah,
so.
I'm surprised Adri did not pick up the statue.
Yeah,
feel like...
it'll be a winded path back to that item if they have to get it.
Yeah, I mean, he probably will pick up maybe the top of the great tree, but I don't know. There's our cave key.
Case key. Okay.
We don't know if that's actually required. That might be completely unrequired this seed still. And yeah, Adri using the cutscene to peek the item on the tree because it shows up in the background. It's silver rupee. And that looks like a bug net, so lower Bumble Rock is dead. Yao is probably going to be a little faster at this fight, but honestly, they both pretty solid fights on the Stalfos.
Yeah. Adri hasn't peeked all the chests, all the items on Beetle Shop, so they're going to pick up some of these rubies.
Yeah. That is a fight that Yao, because he does speedrun the vanilla game, is probably a little better at. It's done in the All Dungeons speedrun. And probably was also done in Skyward Sword HD. Yeah, it had to be, because you have to pick up the first beetle. Not that Adri did not do a good job, but definitely Yao beat the fight a little faster. It's again a fight where like the Stalfos reacts in a lot of the bosses in this game react in fairly predictable ways. And we'll see. Yeah, Adri, I was wondering if Adri was going to go for this chest here. This is technically not in logic. Oof. But since you're here and you aren't going to want to come to the top of the Great Tree again, this makes sense for Adri to do. Just the jump down that he's about to do. Oh, that
I've
was
never
lucky.
seen that before.
I don't think that was intentional.
Yeah.
Well, okay. That's not very useful. That slingshot.
Well, it could be logic for Elden Volcano.
Oh, that's a... Yeah. But that is locked behind Gust Bellows. Logically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the top of the Great Tree statue is not a bad one for Is that our ruby tablet? Yes, it is. Yep.
There it is. Okay.
That is a pretty obvious path item.
Do you think we'll see a bombless Scaldera this seed?
I think both these runners know how to do bombless Scaldera. So I think it is entirely likely. But they're not going to... Right, like, I don't think they're going to go deeper without at least Hook Beetle.
That's true.
That's the one question is... Because without either Hook Beetle or Bomb Bag, there's just not a lot you can... There's a lot that's not in logic at all. With one of them, with one or the other, like with bombs, you can clear the whole dungeon. With Hook Beetle, everything but the boss is in logic. But there are just a number of checks that there's no way to get without one of the two. Yeah. Makes sense doing the fence hop here to get into Lake Floria early. This is one of the most useful tricks in the game. It'll get a hint stone out of logic. I think Adri will probably finish off just going to Sealed Grounds for the statue. Obviously, Sealed Grounds is barren, but it's got a hint, and it's the closest statue to the end game. Well, okay.
Oh, that's a pretty good hint to find.
Yep. He probably will grab the item up here. Yeah. Everything here in Lake Floria is logically locked behind the scale. Is that another harp? Looks like it.
Yeah.
And Skyloft Trial has nothing. Okay, Adri is skipping the Sealed Ground statue. It's not the end of the world. It might have another hint, but I think for him, just beelining to Eldin makes a lot of sense. He can full clear the Eldin Volcano region. I think he's going to just quickly stop by Lumpy Pumpkin, maybe douse some Goddess chests. We're finally going to see Bamboo Island, I think, too. Oh. And he also has to land there to douse that one Goddess chest that just kind of behaves weirdly. I do wonder if he's just going to finish the Oriel Pero quest while he's up in the sky. I kind of doubt it. I think he's just going to go straight to Eldin here.
Yeah, that's
maybe go to Bamboo Island first.
Nope, they're just booking it.
I mean, this makes a lot of sense. He can full clear the region. Volcano statue. He's gonna, not a bad start. It's gonna stop you from having to go through some of the slower things.
Yeah. Also gives you quick access to two of the hints here.
Yeah. Yeah, the one kind of interesting barren region is the Flooded Farron Woods. Not that it's like a huge region, but it's definitely a little slow to get all those checks. Let's see. I didn't see if you doused this. Oh, well, it does have something.
Yeah.
So I guess he did not first.
Yeah, I usually look around to the back by blowing up the shortcut. Oh.
Well, yeah, running out of stamina against the moblins.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. So the 5 Earth Temple key pieces are going to be shuffled around Elden Volcano. So they replace 5 of the items, and there's a nice silver ruby that Audrey's going to be quite happy about. He'll grab that after he finishes this off. The reason he's not dousing this is he's going to have to go check some things anyway. He's going to use the claw shots to get over here and check the first room. Oh.
Oh. Is that accidental?
That is a sword. Yeah, that was an accidental backflip, I think.
Okay. It'd be nice if you find another sword right after for some more Thunderhead checks.
Yeah, I mean, I think really though what he's hoping for is a bomb bag or another beetle. Because those are really going to be the most useful items he can find. Again, just so he can go clear. That is interestingly... That is 4 key pieces, none of which are mitts locked. This could be the second seed that I've seen in the tournament where mitts are just not required to get into Earth Temple. There's a couple pings in Pogo Base, but they are, so far, quite unreachable.
Was one of them the Earth Temple chests, or are they both by the bridge?
Oh. Yeah, I was about to do the swag jump.
Oh, this one's really cool.
It is really cool. It is... The timing is a little precise. It's not a trick I ever do, but... Alright. We are definitely at like 35 or 40 crystals in logic right now. Because I think there were crystals in Linear Mine that Yao got, but Adri didn't. I'm surprised Adri skipped that silver ruby.
Yeah, I am too.
Because he needs more money. Not a ton more, but... That jump is... So that jump that Adri did, it's not like the most precise trick, but it's easy to just jump at the wrong place or the wrong angle and just not quite get the distance. Well, more crystals.
50? Wow.
It's either... I want to say it's 40.
Okay.
Well, there's our whip. Yeah, Yal did get 5 loose. Because he happened to just grab 5 kind of on his way in Skyloft.
Oh, and we're gonna see that Seal Grounds hint on Yao's side.
Yeah, and I don't hate this. I don't know that's gonna do a lot. And Adri is doing this whip trick. Ancient Sister Bokoblin has the harp required. That is
that's...
yeah. that is actually a pretty useful hint, because that is one that Adri is going to seriously think about orphaning and risking. So the song items, their models are harps. We just don't have another model for them. So we've caught 2 songs. Yeah, we don't have another model in game for them.
Yeah. Oh, and about that hint, that was a sometimes hint, so there's potentially only 1 or 2 copies of that, so Audrey might not see it.
There's only 1 copy of it. So Audrey is probably not going to see that hint. He's not going to see that hint until he hits the end game. And there's our second copy of the Patro 50 hint.
Yeah. That's going to be rough, especially if none of the trials are required, because it could be a casino situation for Audrey, depending on how this goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is the kind of hint that is just, it's not out of the way, right? Like, when we designed the season and thought about the hints and the hint stones, we did put some hint stones that if regions are barren are going to be a little out of the way. And there's some risk reward to it, but like Sealed Grounds is one where you kind of have to go there at the end of the game no matter what. Which makes it certainly a little less of a, like, quote-unquote risk to get. Also, worth noting, technically, climbing up Elden Volcano is not actually in logic right now.
Oh, that's right.
Because that slingshot is out of logic.
Yep.
Like, there is still a world where we get... So... Oh, and there's
that's gonna be really nice for
Audrey.
Audrey.
Audrey's gonna need. Yeah. Yeah, we'll skip those 2 items. Won't be a huge time save. And yeah, Water Dragon's reward. That's so. At this point, every hint now is potentially useful. Hello, Vimy. Yeah, so, like, entering Earth Temple is not in logic right now. So I'm wondering what our progress item is on... I have a feeling about Patro 30 or 40 here.
Yeah. We got quite a few items in Farron, so it could be on Patro or in Thunderhead.
Yeah, it could be Thunderhead, too. But, yeah, I mean, the point is, we're going to see them going out of logic here. These runners don't need the slingshot to climb up Elden, but again, logic is made for everyone. That rock is gonna blow up. Yeah, if you grab that second bomb flower and basically aim it towards the first one and throw it off the edge, you're almost always gonna hit. That is another dead trial.
Another dead trial. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm wondering is maybe Water Dragon's reward is, like, super late in logic. And that's going to cause our trials to be dead. We could be seeing something off like that.
Oh yeah, these bomb
Although if there's no Silent
particularly...
Realms... Sorry.
Oh, that's alright. These bomb flowers are particularly weird because I think that one bomb flower in the middle has a shorter timer than the one in the front. So it takes a little getting used to.
Do they? I haven't noticed that. Well, Spiral Charge, that's going to unlock one more thing. Yeah, I mean, I think Adri is really holding out hope that he's going to get his bomb bag or Hook Beetle here in Earth Temple, but also just hoping that nothing hard requires it. There's really only one, like at this point, there's really only one check that will hard require a Hook Beetle or a Bomb Bag. There's stuff they can do out of logic. I think both runners are probably going to do Boundless Scaldera. Hoping that they can do Boundless Scaldera without... Boundless Scaldera with Goddess Sword. Yeah, we'll be really used to it. I don't know how used to it Adri is. Again, it's like... It's the any percent speedrun strategy.
Yeah. Oh, well, they got the longsword in Elder Volcano,
oh, right.
So the strat will be a little different.
Yeah, I know they both know it, but yeah, the strategies for Boundless Scaldera change depending on what sword you have. Let me see. I think Audrey's going to go for the cutscene skips, but wants to grab this item in this first rope. That is another wallet. Yeah, so what we're going to see Adri do here, and we'll see Yal do this, is essentially if you cut the ropes and it happens while you're in the air, the cutscene starts while you're in the air, the cutscene just won't play. And it's a little couple second time save. And yeah, so here, that cutscene doesn't play. That's the one that really matters to skip. The second one that Adri did. And like I said, there's only one chest. So I want to see Adri. Alright, so good news for Adri is Hook Beetle's not required. The whip was... was that the cistern? No.
Wait, where was the whip?
Oh, it's Magma Turf, right.
Magma Turf.
The
Okay,
Triforce is on Pero, the second
Pero, yeah.
So Audrey's gonna get that. He picked up some spores.
Oh, having some targeting difficulties here.
Yeah, so the problem with these Lizalfos is when you knock them down, if the second one is close, the game's auto-targeting will just send you to the one that's not on the ground. Does it make any sense whatsoever? Absolutely not. Yeah, so I think what Adri's going to do here is we're going to see the RBM. Well, okay.
Okay. There was Hook Beetle.
Yeah. That, I mean, puts more of this in logic for him. Magma Mitts. Those Magma Mitts you really don't like right now. Although, again, we are technically out of logic. You don't really want to go to Boko base. Let's see. The stuff that the Hook Beetle unlocks logically is not really... Like, we know there's nothing really except maybe Skipper's Retreat. And there's our scale.
Scale.
Huh. Interesting.
Alright. I guess we'll probably be dungeon rushing after this.
There's more crystals. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Adri, you are going to go from here. You're going to go back to Farron, and you're going to go do Lake Floria into Cistern. Yal, interestingly, is following logic a little more. The risk for him definitely is just that, like, if there's nothing useful here, or it's just a bomb bag that he doesn't need. Like, I think Audrey's going to make it over here later. But, for example, Adri is now going to be able to full clear Sansi in one go. With that Hook Beetle. Yal potentially Well, no, with whip he's not gonna need to. He'll be able to do the whip trick. That might be why he's here. Is he saw he has the whip. I said that like an accusation. I mean, it's just like I forgot he had the whip, which is gonna allow him to full clear Sansi. This actually makes more sense now from Yao's perspective, because if Yao gets a bomb bag, for example, that's gonna be super useful for him. It's gonna make Earth Temple faster. And yeah, so Adri, meanwhile, doing the RBM to raise the bridge. See the bridge, it went up, right? You see that?
Yeah, that's definitely went up there.
Yeah. So that triggers the bridge going up, but it doesn't trigger the cutscene, so you have to kind of you basically have to die and reload.
Yeah.
And
It's basically a way to essentially gaslight the game into thinking like, oh, I already raised the bridge.
Well, that is our friend Pix, who did not enter this tournament, says that is what RBMs are, is literally gaslighting the game. Right, you're just telling the game that you triggered some memory that you haven't actually triggered.
But we definitely did trigger that. Oh,
Yeah.
Of course.
It's welcome in Raiders from ZSR. I don't know
Welcome.
what were they doing. Link to the Past, MMR. I can't remember. But you're joining us for the final race in Group A in the Skyward Sword Randomizer Season 4 tournament. And kind of this is our biggest divergence from the two runners right now. So it's interesting. Skipper's Retreat had absolutely nothing. Again, I think that's going to be interesting. Right, like Bomb Bag is what's going to really help Yao if he gets it here. And we're going to see him use the single most effective weapon against Keese in this game, the whip. I bet most runners have not seen, most non-Skyward Sword players have not seen using the whip to massacre a bunch of Keese.
Yeah. Or a beetle either.
True.
Yeah, I do the same thing here in this section because these Keese are very annoying with getting these checks.
If you have Quick Beetle, you can ignore them. And there's a way to not aggro the Keese if you're really careful. So we are going to see Adri do Bombless Scaldera. So the game expects you to have the bomb bag because this is quite a difficult strategy if you don't know how to do it. I can't see what was on the second one, but I think Yao sees it's nothing. So what Audrey's going to do is roll this bomb down, and it will get eaten by Scaldera, and then he will do some damage here, precise amounts of damage. He's going to have to do this a second time. That looked like 2 pings in Pirate Stronghold. Yeah. Alright, and so here what Audrey's going to have to do is Skyward Strike at a precise time when Scaldera's eye is vulnerable and can be hit by a Skyward Strike when he opens his mouth. He did save before because if you miss this too many times, you can soft lock. But that is really clean. Really nice bomb with Scaldera.
Really nice.
Audrey, that is effectively going to allow him to bypass the bomb bag for a little while. Although I expect Yao is going to be back here pretty soon. Again, Yao... Yeah, and that is 2 pings. We are kind of doubly out of logic right now for Adri.
Yeah. The one thing Yao does have over Adri at the moment is that Ancient Sister Bokoblin hint. If Adri decides to skip that, Yao will definitely gain a lot of time back.
Yeah, I don't think Adri will. only because Adri needs so many items, and he intentionally skipped the hint. But I don't know for sure. Like, that could be a race decider.
Yeah.
If Adri just waits until the end. There's a nice unbuffered break slide from Yal. Alright, that is our logical hook beetle. Oh, and it was all 3 chests in Pirate Stronghold. Okay. Interesting. And yeah, I think kind of like we said, a logical place for Adri to go is to go back to Farron, clear Floria, clear Ancient Cistern. I'd say he has a pretty clear short-term roadmap. I think Yal is probably going to end up back here, but it's possible Yal is going to do some cleanup on Skyloft first. Oh yeah, and that is I think that's the first Metro 50 that Adri has, because Adri hasn't been to caves yet, hasn't been to Linear Mine. He really didn't do a lot in Linear. That's kind of the other big divergence, but that hasn't meant much yet. But yeah, like I said, Adri really does make sense. He's going to pick up the 1 Spiral Charge Rock, I think, just while he's here in the sky. Yeah. This is pretty far out of the way. And he does get the trick to allow you to phase through. I don't think that's going to point Adri in to... Let's see. Triforce of... That is our Triforce of Power that we already knew about, because we've seen it on Para's gift. There are still 2 Triforce hints out there, and I want to say at this point, those 2 hints have to be Volcano Summit. So I think that could be pretty useful. So, for Adri at least, when he gets Fire Shield Earrings, he might have some incentive to beeline to get those hints. And we're still some swords away. And and there's our bomb bag.
There's our logic.
No, that's still not our logic.
Oh, we don't... What are we missing for that?
The slingshot. Well, that is in logic, but that...
Okay.
But we still need a slingshot to actually get up to Clear Earth Temple.
Yeah. Or I guess
this should
logical access to that, which is Gust Bellows? Because it was in Great Tree.
Is that cube? Yeah, logical access to a slingshot or bow. That cube is in logic right now, though. I think that's one of the Great Tree cubes.
Okay.
Whichever cube that is definitely in logic. But yeah, we don't have a projectile weapon yet. And Adri's kind of going to show. So the Great Tree chest is logically locked by Bellows. The game expects you to kind of do it by swinging, going through the swings. You know what? Yal is going to be happy about that sword. Adri should not disregard that key. That is dangerous for Adri. I am now flagging Adri in severe danger zone. Although he's going to be able to get another key, so he probably just assumes I don't need 2. But That's 2 bows that are scale locked.
Yeah, I
I'm
still
now
have
wondering
logical access
if
for a projectile.
yeah, I think it's going to be bat 30 or 40 is just our first logical projectile. That's like, at this point, that's what makes the most sense. Yeah, Yal, the bomb bag, going to be quite happy. He's going to finish off Lanayru Desert here. Yeah. Only one slingshot. Oh no, wait. Yeah, the second slingshot was here in Cistern.
Yes.
So yeah, I think it's entirely possible that our second Scaldera path is, well, we're not going to get a second Scaldera path. Hold on. We can't get a second Scaldera path at this point, but yeah, whatever our first bow is, it's probably bat 30 or 40. Like, I think that's the only explanation here.
Okay, so Adri is gonna get that Goddess Harp here.
Yeah, that was why I was worried he didn't pick up a key, but he only needs 1 key to beat the dungeon. He might have to Cistern clip, but he'll be fine. The second key might have made things faster, though.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, he's not going to Cistern clip. He's probably just going to get this and then...
Maybe would you Death Warp out of here, or just go back to start?
You either Death Warp or go back to the start of the dungeon with the statue. Either way. Yeah,
Yeah, I forget there's like a statue. Is it?
Yeah, he knows. He
area?
knows the lily pad has nothing. Yeah, okay. There's a statue here.
Oh, okay, so that's not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So the question now is the third bow on bat 30 or bat 40? And yeah, Adri, I feel like the thing that Adri has going for him right now is, I mean, the question is, when does he go to Thunderhead? But he is probably just now trying to efficiently full clear. Like I said, our 2 hints that we haven't seen have to be our hints. If a Triforce is not in a Silent Realm, they have to be Triforce hints. Do you want to give kind of the 1 hour shout outs? Please give our runners a follow. YourAverageLink and Adri. Thanks for being here to watch this race. Huge thanks to our 2 trackers, Vibrant Viola and Lada Chiamaka. Of course, thanks to Ryukin for... Ryukin, is that right?
Yes, that's how you say it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
The bomb bag was in Thunderhead. It was on the Goddess... Or, not the Goddess chest. It was the East Island chest in Thunderhead. Yeah. Which they've had access to for a little while. It might be a little while before Adri goes there. Like, I think Adri is probably going to do... most of Lanayru before that. I mean, he might gamble Thunderhead. We'll see. Now I'm really curious where Yal is going to go. Is he just going to go back to Eldin here? Is he going to clean up Skyloft? Yeah, he is going to clean up Skyloft stuff. Probably check to see if he needs scale. Gus Bellows on Betrow would be funny, I will say. If that is kind of what gets us back in logic. But there are a lot of guys.
Oh, I haven't seen that one cycle on Galactus before. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Fire shield earrings.
Huh. Could be. Could be a summit.
Yeah. So Galactus is damage based. That is why you're able to do a one cycle here. The game does not. The game basically is not programmed well to get rid of the hero mode Skyward Strike, and you obviously in the regular game don't have the bow.
Is it chest? Maybe chest.
There's something here. No, so it was just
nothing.
a Baron Betrow.
Huh. That is unfortunate. Yeah, after this dungeon, from Adri's perspective, basically almost the entire game's open to him.
Okay, so yeah, Gus Bellows are in logic somewhere.
Yeah, we need Gus Bellows.
I don't know where they are, but they are somewhere in the seed in logic. I mean, they could be in Boko Base.
One of our slingshots, I forget where our slingshot was, but all of our bows were
in the Great Tree. Then the other slingshot and 3 bows were all scale locked. And scale was in Earth Temple, which is projectile locked. So Yal is with the bomb bag gonna get through Alden and get through Earth Temple a little faster. I don't think we can really tell who is ahead or behind because they've just taken such different routes and cleared different things. So, like, the one thing that Yal has done some things in the overworld that Adri has not, right? And Yal is beelining here for, he's going to get these hints, which could be really good for him. Right, like, the Triforce hints could be really good.
Yeah. I guess that is partly Yal's strategy, is just prioritizing the hints.
Yeah, like Adri is 2 dungeons ahead. Farore's Courage had what? Was that a Triforce? +1 item? Din's Power. Required.
Huh.
Was that +1 other item? So there is an RBM to get into the Elden Trial. So we are not going to see, potentially... Triforce of Courage is in Boko Base. Was that +1 other item? Okay, and there are Gus Bellows.
Okay, there is logic. Okay.
Yeah. Yal is going to grab this hint here and grab the item. I mean, as far as what could be required at this point, there's really only 2 things that could be required in Elden Trial. That is Central
Is that another
Skyloft
Caldera
to
pack?
Caldera. I don't know what that would be. I don't know.
Because we already have Emerald tablets for Coloctus.
I don't remember what else was. I mean, it was something that probably led to the bomb bag in some way, but I don't know what. Oh, mitts.
Mitts
Yeah,
from Central. Oh,
and
okay.
mitts were hard required. And that hint is not mitts locked. Yeah, that could just be mitts then. Because the boss key was on... Well, one of the key pieces, but I think the boss key might have also been on the chest. Was mitts locked? So, yeah. That's our path solved.
I guess Audrey's gonna be retracing a lot of steps that Yal has already taken in the overworld.
Yeah, because I don't think he's gonna I think he came here, he's death warping now, and is gonna death warp basically back to do Sansi. So I don't think he's gonna... Yeah, I mean, Audrey is hint hunting now. I think realizing that Triforces could be useful. Again, if Audrey knows the RBM to get into Elden Trial, that could be really useful. I just don't know if he does. Yal almost certainly does. It's it's not a commonly done RBM. But it also requires a bit magic file, I think. Which neither of them have.
Yeah.
Yeah, given that we didn't get a third Triforce hint, it's probably not. Yeah, last Triforce is in Boko Base.
Boko Base.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a weird... We're kind of in a weird situation, because it's hard to tell who is ahead. Because, again, Audrey has a lot more to do before he goes to do the trials. And again, we're still missing a sword. You know, I think the thing for Yal that's going to be good is once he gets Magma Mitts, which now I'm forgetting where the second set of mitts were. Once he gets Magma
they're
Mitts,
here
he's
in
gonna
Earth
be able
Temple.
to okay, so he's just going to go to Boko Base.
Yeah.
Whereas Adri is still hunting for that bomb bag to efficiently clear it. And it's possible that Boko Base... It's actually, I would say, not just possible, but quite likely that Boko Base has a sword, too.
Oh, nice cutscene skip.
Gal, I think, is going to just kind of do the RBM first. Yeah. And again, the bombs, we're going to see Yal is going to get through the dungeon faster. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of just going to see them retrace each other's steps, because Yal is going to get his scale.
Now, is getting near the staircase in the hub room the only way to commit it to memory, or can you also do it in another room?
You do have to.
Okay.
Yeah. You do have to get near it. It's not necessarily commitment. But yeah, you do. Maybe it's not the only way to commit it. It's just the fastest way. I forget. Okay, yeah, he committed by breaking.
Oh, okay. I see.
That's what I thought there are multiple ways to commit that one. Also, hello to Momodachi.
Oh.
So good to see you, Momo. Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of seeing, like, the bomb bag makes it a little faster here. I do think Audrey's probably going to head to Thunderhead soon. The Fire Shield earrings were in Desert, I believe.
What was on the east chest in Thunderhead then?
The east chest was the bomb bag.
Oh, it was bomb bag. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it was Goddess chest on Skyloft, right? Yeah, I mean, I just think Adri he's probably not far from Thunderhead. It's the hard thing to judge about this race is because they've done such different things for the last 30 to 45 minutes. It's really hard to judge who's done what faster. Right? Like, all else being equal, Yal is probably full clearing stuff a little faster than Adri. But Audrey's, and like, some of the routing has been more efficient for him, but some of the routing has been more efficient for Adri. I think kind of until they converge on the Triforce hunt, we're not going to know. Yal knowing the RBM for the Elden Trial might benefit him. At the same time, you need a bit magic file for that RBM, and going to the Silent Realm may not be that problematic. So
if there's a sword and a Boko base alongside that Triforce hint, do you think that'll be in a good spot?
Yes. I think the question is, like, I think Yal goes to Boko base after Earth Temple because he knows he's got to do it. He knows he can full clear it. Like, I think Yal potentially hits Go mode first. Just because at this point, Yal has gotten all the Goddess chests. Or he's activated all the Goddess chests. Yal has, like, a pretty clear path to full clearing the seed. So, looking at trackers, Yal is at 53 locations remaining, 43 accessible. Adri is at 49 locations remaining, 26 accessible. There is a lot of parity here. But like for I don't know, it's just tough to know because I think all else being equal, Yal is probably in a better spot. It's a really nice fast Caldera. You know, because for Yal to, I don't know if with having to create a bit magic file and with not having to play the harp, I don't even know necessarily if it's that much faster to do the Elden Trial RBM. Oh, hold on. I don't think he's going to be able to do the Elden Trial RBM because you have to set up a magic file, I think, before you've... I'm not sure now if you have to set that one up before you talk to Betro, because I think it's the Betro 5 text box, if I remember correctly. So I don't know if they can actually do the RBM. So yeah, Adri is just going in for the trial chain here. I don't think we're gonna see the RBM because without Sandship or Fire Sanctuary or Almath, they didn't set up the RBM. Yeah. I mean, he could do that too, but at that point, it might just be faster to go in. The Farron trial is pretty quick to run through. Adri at least grabbing some of these tiers on his way. That's like another thing that potentially could cost him some time, but if it's on the reward, will not. How you route trials is always like a tricky question.
I think Lineru trial is one of the trickier ones though, because there's so much of.
Right. Well, there's
an
item.
Okay.
Jin's power has a Triforce +1.
+1. One other useful item. What could that be?
It can't be gratitude crystals. It could be a bottle. It could be a sword. I mean, I think for Adri, he's probably just going to beeline it over to the trial.
Yeah.
It can't be a bow. It can't be a slingshot. So it's basically it's a bottle. It's a bottle, a beetle, a sword. I think he's going to Sealed Grounds now to grab that hint. Which was the Boko hint. But also, he wants that statue, because he's going to have to run over here at some point in the seed.
Yeah.
I don't think, though, that actually a hint is useful. Well, no, he has not been to Volcano Summit, so a hint is still useful for him. All right, there's a useless group of Tadtones. Oh.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
2 groups of Tadtones. Yeah, those... That is quite unfortunate. Yeah, but Goblin Base is trolling a little bit.
Right. Can we get a third?
I know, right? It would be very funny if all 3 are in Boko Base with the Triforce.
Yeah.
I mean, the runners are going to hate it, but it would be fun.
Yeah. It's good content.
It, you know, it really is. I feel like I might have just killed the Bokos, so you don't have to...
Oh,
okay.
There's a sword. Okay.
Well, all right. So it's a bottle. Is the second item in the Elden Trial.
I see.
And that bottle cannot be anything less than possibly required, since one of the bottle locks a Triforce.
Okay, so y'all might be in a very good spot.
It cannot be a sword. Because a sword would mean there would be 2 items in addition to the Triforce in the trial. Yeah. All right, there's the Triforce. And yeah, I mean, this is just like, for Adri, an extra long casino. I mean, for both runners, just feels like a big casino to some extent for that final sword. But that is Rando. Again, I think really the question for Adri is like, at what point does he finally go to Thunderhead? Because does he? I'm trying to think what he needs the bomb bag for. Well, he needs the bomb bag to get the Triforce and potentially the sword.
Yeah.
And it is on the Elden Trial reward. So we're going to see both runners finish this trial. There's our wooden shield. The Wallace? What we call the wooden shield? Yeah, I mean, once Yal gets Furores, he's in go mode. And I think he is headed that way. I think Yal might be ahead at this point. It'll be a long go mode for Yal. Because it'll be a dungeon plus probably 2 silent realms. I mean, so we're probably still looking at hour 50 to 2 hours, but Yeah, like Adri still doesn't have the Triforce in Central, although he's not that far from it. But he still doesn't have the bomb bag. He still doesn't have the fire shield earrings. Like, he is running out of things to check.
Does Yao go into Ancient Cistern after this?
Yeah, I think Yao is going to go... I think he's going to go probably do Floria forwards.
Okay, yeah, he's heading there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's going to do... He's going to just do backwards Floria. I don't know if he'll do it before or after this turn. Like, it probably just makes sense to do Cistern and warp out from here. But yeah, I mean, Yao... Cistern is quick, but I think realistically... But yeah, I mean, we're just kind of in a question of, you know, we know where, like, we on the restream know where everything is. It's just a matter of who gets to what first. You know, I think Adri, I assume going to get to Thunderhead at some point, but he has a lot of cleanup to do here. Right? Like, he hasn't done Beetle's Shop. He hasn't done all the Goddess Cubes. There are Goddess Cubes that aren't going to have anything. You know, maybe he finds the last sword. Like, I really just, you know, it's... If Adri... Like, Adri has to go to Thunderhead. That's really kind of the big thing for him. He's gonna get... The Bellows were... Oh my god, I forgot where Bellows were. The items left that are going to ping are going to be swords, gratitude crystals, bottles. Gus Bellows were in Volcano Summit, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Adri might not want to do Boko Base before that. But he might just risk it and say it's only one check, and hopefully that's not my Triforce and Sword. Like, he still needs Bomb Bag, but he's gonna get the earrings. Like, that's... If Adri goes to Thunderhead right after this, I think it is his race to win. If he does not, I don't know what's gonna happen. Because I don't have a good sense of it. Like, I don't have a good sense of where Adri is going to go if he doesn't do Thunderhead. And he could be greeting Thunderhead. He could do Summit first, because the Summit Goddess Cube is in Thunderhead. I just don't know. Like, Yal has a clear path. Adri has a lot of branching paths. If Audrey's going to win this seed, it's going to be because essentially he wins out on check density. Or on just doing fewer checks than Yal, I think. But like, he's hunting hints now. Maybe he doesn't have the Boko base hint? Oh, the Boko base hint was in Summit.
Who's up?
Wasn't it? I don't think it was this one. Okay, well, there's our sword. That is going to put Adri into Thunderhead. I think that's actually really good for him. I think he's going to go check Patro. God, this is so close. Because, like, Yal has to do... Okay, I might need to refresh. I will refresh. Yeah, I just like... I really just don't have a good sense of what Adri is going to do. Oh yeah, the refresh, the streams jumped around a little bit. Oh, I see what the issue is. I don't know, like, I feel like Yal is ahead, but it's so close. Only because of, like, so Audrey's going to go into Thunderhead. The question for me is, does he get the bomb bag and just beeline it to Bogo base and hope it's not on the Bellows chest? Because if he does, this is his race, I think. Nice one cycle with the Master Sword. Yeah, it's like... Oh, Adri still needs another sword, too. He can get that sword in Boko base, but he'll probably do Isle of Silence and get that sword. So he may end up with True Master Sword. Oh, this is going to be really close. Like, genuinely, I am...
Man. It could come down to whether if Yal decides to go into Lake Floria or not.
I don't think Yal has a choice but to go into Lake Floria, because I think Lake Floria for him is the most check-dense place he can go. Like, he is going to Lake Floria. It was just a matter of, did you do Floria before Cistern or after? Like, when he gets that hint, he will know this is saying his Triforce has to be in Alton Trial. Like, this is a really close race. Again, like, looking at accessible locations remaining, Adri is about to go down to 24 locations remaining. with the only things inaccessible being Bella's locked. Yal is at 13 accessible, 22 remaining. I'm trying to think what he's missing. It's the Silent Realms are the only things Yal. The Silent Realms and Zelda's Blessing. So we're going to see now. Does Adri just run to Boko base and hope? It's a 1 in 8 chance, essentially. I don't think Yal is going to break into the Farron trial, because I think for him, there's still a bunch of checks in Floria that are faster to do. But this is a really close race, and it is genuinely going to depend on where does Adri go from here. And he, I think, is heading to Alden. I think he's going to Boko base. I think Adri is going to win this. Yeah. Volcano. Oh no, he's gonna summit. Oh, this is a nail biter. He's going summit first because it's in logic. And then he's going to go down to Boko base. Oh, it's this plus Boko base versus potentially 2 silent rounds. I still think Adri is ahead.
Oh, it's warping out.
Yeah, that... God, this is... Because once Adri gets Bellows here, he can go back to Boko base. This is so close.
Mm.
Oh, man. I genuinely don't know what's going to be faster.
Yeah, does setting up a bit magic file take longer than just running through it?
I mean, Yal is gonna do back in time. I don't know if there's a way to do this without. He must know how to do this. I thought you needed a bit magic file for this trick, but maybe not. Okay, there's the hint for Adri, right? I wonder if what Yal is going to do is start a new file. Kind of what, right, he's going to save and quit. Start a new file to set up a bit magic file. Yeah.
Yeah, I am very curious to see which one's going to reach it faster.
This is
skipping the trial going to make the difference?
I don't know, because, this is going to take time. It is less time than going into the silent round, but I think Adri, this is going to be within a minute or two. I don't know.
Yeah, they're holding hands right now, but on completely different states.
Yeah, they're in the exact same place, but they're heading to different places right now. This is, I think, going to be the most exciting race of the tournament so far. Yeah, so Yal is damaging down here, I think. I think this is Adri's race at this point now, because of how much Yal is going to have to do in the silent round. It feels like it has shifted that way, and I don't even know if I'm trying to think if there's a point where one player really outrouted the other. Beyond, Yal has generally done more checks. yeah, like Yal is setting up his bit magic file here. Um, it's I don't like I'm genuinely just trying to think like what was the deciding point here beyond just like Adri really rushed his dungeons and was able to kind of full clear overworld stuff a little faster. Like I said, Yal kind of hunted for the logic before he went into the dungeons. And that's the place, right, where like Adri skipping logic and going to Earth Temple. That's kind of the difference. I don't know though, right? Like, yeah, it's interesting because I don't. Yeah. Like, I guess kind of the big thing is, other than Earth Temple, Adri has kind of cleared various things a little faster than Yal has. But yeah, this is definitely Adri's race. Just looking at what he's got left to do. Yeah. And definitely like a pretty sizable upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and y'all also having trouble with this. This is not a back in time trick that people do a lot or practice a lot, which is kind of the other thing that's going on here. So yeah, like there's True Master Sword. Yeah, like Adri's at 70 crystals. He's gotten all of the. He got 5 loose plus all of the crystal packs. I mean, yeah, I'm like trying to think what overworld things Yal did that Adri did not. I'm not really sure. It just, yeah, man. And like now, it would have just been faster for Yal to go in and do vanilla. Yeah. And this is officially go mode for Adri. Yeah, I mean they did do things in different orders, and that obviously was the big thing, but
yeah. So Yal's pretty much only like, yeah, Yal's just a few minutes behind Adri at this point. Wow. They basically had like almost the same locations remaining other than the Silent Realms. At least that's what I assume.
Yeah, I mean, it's they really did just do most of the same things. It was really neck and neck. The routing was kind of the big difference. And so what this is going to mean is, so Yal is going to have to face Gymnast in the bracket. Which is, yeah, we are going to have 2 really good races in the quarterfinals. Like, yeah, the extra sword helped Adri a little bit, but not hugely so. I don't think it would have changed much. I mean, I guess that's the other thing, is there are some cubes that Adri checked it, I don't know. It was just a really good race. I think we saw them do different things, which we don't always see in Skyward Sword. And I mean, we saw really good execution from both of them. It's just Adri's routing really paid off. I think because he didn't double dip as much. That's really the big thing. I think that's actually where Adri ultimately paid off, right? He didn't like triple dip Limeru. He basically went through it all, and he never went to the nodes. So there's stuff he never did in Desert. But he kind of only single dip mines in Sandsea. He single dipped main Elden because he went out of logic and did Elden Earth Temple. Like, I don't know, I think he was just more efficient with clearing things because of how he routed, and going out of logic was really why. So really, really solid win for Adri. I think he's going to be really excited about this. Kind of like I talked about this a couple years ago, there was a pretty big gap, I would say, between the top 4 runners and the next few, and that has closed a lot as people have played more.
Alright, well, I don't know if it's too early to call it, but I guess get your GGs ready.
Yep. Very, very solid win.
Yeah.
We are going to have the runners coming for an interview. They're on a 10-minute stream delay. So I tried not to look at the race time room, but I am the restreamer. Yeah, very clean endgame from Adri. Just generally, like, I don't know, this to me is probably my favorite race of the season that I have restreamed and commentated on.
Yeah.
I think there's one other one that was really pretty close. I'm blanking, but that is.
I think this was definitely the coolest Skyward Sword race I've watched ever.
Yeah,
so I'm glad I was a part of that.
GG for Adri. So I'm gonna bring him in. GG Adri, and let me bring Yal in. GG Yal.
Yeah, GG's.
GG.
So, what did you two think about the seed?
Maybe one of the longer casino I've done.
Yeah, I think for both of you. It was definitely a long casino. We just saw we're 10-minute stream delay. We see your webcam. You celebrating, Adri.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't confident at all.
I think understandably so, given who you're running against. It was. If you all watch this back, it was a really good race. We really did not know who was going to take the win until the very end. Because you both just did really different things.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize my mic was muted.
Oh. Hey.
Hi, I'm here. For me, it wasn't like a long casino. It was just annoying and like, I will say, contrary to your nervousness, I feel like, with the exception of maybe 64 versus Whale, that this is probably one of the closer. Like, one of the most likely to have been an upset. So, I'm not super surprised it ended up this way. I if you count Fair Trial, which I skipped, I only had 12 locations accessible. If you don't, then 8. So
Yeah, I mean, you all did basically almost the same things in completely different orders. And the routing, I think, ultimately is kind of what paid off for Adri. Adri went a little more out of logic in Elden. He cleared Earth Temple his first time, so he didn't really have to go back. He didn't do a lot in Desert. When you first started, he just kind of beelined the sky. And so he didn't come back to Desert for a very long time. So he kind of went a little faster through Desert, Sand Sea, all of that. It was not like one big thing. It was just a lot of small things that added up, I felt.
And like, what else was it? Okay, so about that, so I remembered, oh yeah, we changed the logic for the Great Tree chest somewhat. And my mind was like, oh, so that means that since the slingshot is on that chest, that means that surely Water Scale can't be behind that. But no, it was Bellows. And then once I got Bellows, I was like, oh, well, I mean, I'm back in logic now, but that is a lot less important of a thing to have been logic deducing.
Yeah, it was...
Because I was under the assumption that I should put off the rest of Elden and Earth Temple because I'm probably not going to have skill there unless I find like another slingshot or something. But
yeah, I mean, for a long time, we were waiting for the first slingshot or bow to be on Betrow, 30 or 40, and then Betrow was barren. And you found the Bellows. Because all 3 bows and a slingshot were scale locked. But yeah, it was like I don't know, it's just one of those where following the logic just made this a very good suit because of where the first projectile was.
And then at the end, so the problem was on my run file, I've already gotten Betrow 5. And in Elden, I've already blown up the rock that gives you early Thunderhead. So the only real way that I can set up the RBM to open the trial is by starting a new file. So that was a little awkward, and I still don't know why my first bonk didn't work. I'm pretty sure I opened Splash in time, but whatever.
Yeah, we were wondering if you were going to do that, although I think we were looking at it, I think even if you had gotten it first, you probably still would have lost just because the gap. So Yal is finishing up on stream. It's about a 5-minute difference. And you're doing claw shot demise, which I love to see.
So I'm guessing the last sword is like the rock that I didn't check in Floria.
It was the Waterfall Island Goddess chest.
Okay, so
on
that
Skyward,
cube.
which I forget which cube that is.
It was
the
like
one in Floria.
not
Like Floria.
Yeah.
Or was it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was just a goddess chest you didn't check. I'm trying to think if I have other questions for you two. Like I said, I feel like the big thing just philosophically was Yal following logic a lot more closely than Adri. And that just kind of had a cascading effect.
I didn't really thought about logic. I was just like, I can do a dungeon, I will do the dungeon. And nothing else.
Yeah. Right, and you climbing Elden and clearing Earth Temple ended up then getting you a little further along, a little faster. And it was just kind of like I said, it was kind of a slow thing that added up over time.
I don't remember where earrings were, but I was kind of hoping that those would save me, but evidently
they were the West Island Goddess chest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hesitate to rush Summit after this for the hints, like I did after Thunderhead.
Yeah, like once
But
I
the
got...
one back saved me.
Once I got the last Elden hint, I knew that my last Triforce had to be in one of the Silent Realms, but I wasn't comfortable just choosing one of them blindly. And if I did, I was going to do Farron because, well, you saw how complicated it would have been for me to go get go open Elden. So which was it, the trial reward, or was it one of the?
It was a relic.
It was one of the relics in Farron Trial.
Okay, so probably didn't end up being any faster anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we were definitely wondering what you were going to decide to do there. We weren't really sure which would be better or worse. I'm trying to think if I have other questions for you both. I know, Yal, you said you had to go.
Yeah.
But I guess just to wrap up, so Yal is going to be playing Gymnast in the quarterfinals of the bracket round. Audrey will be playing 64-bit Link. The first 3 rounds, because we don't have tiebreakers, will be happening over the next 3 weeks, and then each subsequent round for 2 weeks after. With that, thank you all. I think we will wrap this up so the runners can get out of here. Thanks everyone for watching. Please give Yal and Audrey a follow. Thanks to Ryukin for commentating with me, and Vibrant Viola and Wada Chiamaka for tracking. They make us look a lot smarter. They remembered things that we did not. We're going to go raid ZSR, but stay tuned for more Skyward Sword over the next few weeks.